Hello, everybody. Thanks. Well, let's give some hands for those previous speakers. What do you say? You know, it's so wonderful, and I'm so privileged to be here amongst so many great minds, thinking about how gaming is going to be one of the key industries that ushers in Web3. And I think the same can be said about Web3 helping games, you know, that can take the next evolutionary step as an industry and really focus on that play like we were just talking about in the previous slides. So I want to take a moment, take a step back and talk about innovation for a second, because I think some of our speakers have talked about how hard it is to innovate. And it's true. I mean, if you look at some of the innovations in human history, it turns out that most of them are very difficult for humans to actually react to. Eventually, we figure out how to take advantage of an innovation. I mean, consider the light bulb for a second. People were okay with fire back then. You know, let's think about Web 1.0. Most of Web 1.0 was initially delivered on a CD-ROM physically mailed to people's homes. I mean, these innovations took time. And that's because, including Web 3, it's not just the invention that represents the innovation. And so I want to spend a little bit of time today talking about how we can all come together to bring that innovation to the mass market. And I think gaming is a hero use case for those AAA interactive entertainment experiences that can really usher in that mainstream adoption. How many of us here receive these three objections to Web3? Oh, blockchain is trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist. Or my walled garden is the only way that I can keep my customers, so why would I open it up? Or how about this one? Wallet creation UX is absolutely a non-starter for mass market users. You know, I think a lot of folks, a lot of horse ranchers back in the day would have said that their horses were just fine. Why would they need a car? And so I want to bring us all together, partner to bring this capability, bring these objections into opportunities that can really deliver that next generation of innovation for Web3 gaming. I put a few quotes up on the slide about innovation. So some of the greatest innovators have the same challenge. They've spoken about the same challenge that we here in this room face. We need to take action and we need to partner. And I've spent most of my career, more than 2 decades, in the games and entertainment industry. I've spent my whole life as a gamer. I've played many of the same games that you all have played. I enjoy games, but I also see a huge commercial opportunity right on the horizon. I've had a chance to work with some of the best gaming IP in the world, including Magic the Gathering, many of the Call of Duty titles, and many of the Blizzard titles like World of Warcraft and Overwatch. And now I'm at Mythical. And so I've spent some time at companies that have truly innovated gaming and interactive entertainment. I have a soft spot for trading card games. I've spent a considerable amount of my time working on the trading card game models. And I want to bring that model to every AAA game in existence. I think every category of games should benefit from the brain wiring that we have been able to achieve with the way that trading card games have been designed. And there's no reason why all game categories cannot benefit from this. So what have we seen at Mythical? So at Mythical Games, I'm going to give you some of the insights that we've seen from the games that we have produced and the platform that we've built. And we're extremely excited to partner with Polkadot and other Web3 capabilities that the Polkadot ecosystem provides as a way of powering up the foundation for what we've seen in our early insights and how we're going to take that to wide-scale mass market adoption. So the first 2 major innovations that have changed gaming have already happened. So there's been free-to-play games. That's been underway for the last 10, 15 years. And what that did was it took 100 million gamers and it created 4 billion gamers. 100 million paying gamers to 4 billion free-to-play gamers. That's an incredible, incredible shift. More people on this planet are playing games than ever before. Now, one of the big challenges with that sudden increase in gaming is the content that they consume. And so the next innovation that has come about has been user-generated content, because no studio can keep up with the massive amount of game content that 4 billion gamers can consume. And the quality bar needs to be high. I think in previous speeches we've heard about how the quality of the gameplay experience needs to be achieved for you to have lasting monetization and commercial success for your products. So the next two innovations are underway. Digital ownership, which I think Web3 can power in partnership with Polkadot and with other web technologies. We've been able to really uncover that digital ownership is that next phase of gaming, plus cloud gaming. And I'm not talking about pixel streaming or Stadia. I'm talking about a brand new innovative technology that we've been coining the phrase Web3D to help describe. And Mythical stands right in the middle. With several partners in the Mythos Foundation, we're going to achieve this. We're going to bring these two innovations together, and I'd love to talk with you about how perhaps we can partner as well, because what we're really trying to do is build a platform around how to unlock these two innovations. Now, we've seen a lot of Web3 gaming iterations. Many of them have been talked about today, and games are getting better. The good news is all of you are doing a great job of improving the AAA game experience that is going to be required for us to land this innovation. You know, I think one thing that we've noticed is that there hasn't been a dominant chain that's been unlocked. We're betting on Polkadot. We have definitely seen that the top two of 8 chains across the world are gaming related, with Mythos and Immutable X. Mythos chain on its own already is doing $300 million in asset sales, which is incredible. And we think by bringing it to Polkadot, we're going to achieve even greater results. And I'll get to that in just a few minutes. So some of the strong use cases I think we've talked about with gaming is that gamers look for value. But our premise is they first look for quality of gameplay. But it's so intrinsic to most gameplay core loops that have been around in digital gaming for 20 years to really find value in scarcity and to find value in access, but also to find value in the gameplay itself. And that can't be missing. And we've seen success with this. With our Blancos title, we've also seen limited success with our Nitro Nation World Tour racing title, and NFL Rivals, which is the world's first in-game marketplace approved by Apple and Google, has had its first season with over 4 million players. And there's more to come. So I think we've talked a little bit about this as well, but gamers are not crypto traders. We have to bring these capabilities. I loved what Gonzilla is doing, because we have to bring this capability to them in the way that works with the core game loop itself, in the user experience, so that they don't even realize that they're working on Web3 technology, but they've uncovered the value of an advanced marketplace capability that's built into the games themselves. This unlocks liquidity. That liquidity will also be reinvested back into the game. And we've got early data to support this, and I've got 25 years working in the games business to say this is possible. We've got a couple of key features that we've developed, one of which we just released, a patent-pending capability that we call quick trades. And what this does is it unlocks a layer on top of our chain, soon to be moved over to Polkadot, that's really going to help players seamlessly take items that they don't want and trade them for items that they do want, all minted on the chain, all transacted on the chain, and all independently verified. I mean, in the world of gaming, digital game developers have presented gamers with the notion that they're going to buy some things that maybe eventually they no longer want. And we're going to give them really easy ways to find people who want to buy those items off of them so that they can get the things that they want. And this is going to prove to be extremely successful across our games. So we've got it on one game right now with NFL Rivals. It's live on our web marketplace. And this month we're launching it in-game for the very first time. It'll be the first game in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store that's approved to have this capability. And this will be a platform, commercial-grade capability available to game developers. But we want to make sure that we get game developers that are working on AAA game experiences. The Web3 capabilities that we have unlocked, we've already proven that this works. And in the mobile gaming space, it's incredibly important since 2022. I think most of us that have worked in the mobile gaming space realize that the IDFA changes that some of the mobile device ecosystems implemented made it extremely difficult to grow mobile games. Mobile games have had a very, very hard time. And so we're looking for other ways to leverage capabilities, and Web3 is one of them, and we've already proven it. So, some of the early results that I can share with you on our platform, we're seeing 4 times GMV, just because there's a secondary market that's been built into the game that has a seamless user experience. We've seen a 33% increase in game sessions, in user engagement. We've seen a 3x increase in spend. And it's because we've proven beyond a doubt that when you give players a secondary market they believe in, they spend more on primary sales. Everyone benefits: the game studios, the publishers, the platform, and the players. Another thing that we've noticed is that moving the market in-game has created massive lifts. In our very first season, NFL Rivals has had over 4 million players. We've seen as we turned on secondary market capabilities, we've seen incredible secondary market transactions. We've had a few days where the secondary market has far eclipsed the primary market in terms of sales, in terms of gross GMV across there, and platform revenues for the game developer, in this case us, have been incredible. Another thing is, for us, one of the insights that we've noticed is that in-game capability with the token and with the secondary market has created a natural staking effect. Not only are the objects having game utility, but as players invest in more players and more objects, they keep more of that value in the ecosystem. We see very few people actually exit, even though they could. And that psychological effect is a very powerful motivator on primary sales in addition to additional secondary market sales. It's an incredible flywheel. We've got a lot of results that I can share after this presentation related to the 3 games that we've tested this on. We are absolutely looking for more game developers to partner with because our platform is scaling, especially as we move over to Polkadot, where we get the commercial-grade technology and ecosystem that ecosystem provides. And I think one of the other key components that we're going to see over time is that Web3 is going to build brand new business models for brand owners and creators. And this is going to power the UGC and the value of that UGC in the market. And that's going to help increase the opportunity for us to really take this mainstream. I spoke briefly at the very beginning. We have a Mythos Foundation. We're a founding member of the Mythos Foundation. There's over 25 different game companies that have come together, and entertainment companies that have come together to join the Mythos Foundation because they believe in what we believe in, which is you need to focus on that AAA experience, and you need to make it easier for the users and the players to be able to benefit from the secondary market capabilities that Web3 provides without putting all the friction in front of them. Like wallet creation, let's solve that problem. Let's make it very, very easy for wallets. In addition to that, let's take these brand experiences and be able to use Web3 to allow people to move from experience to experience in seamless ways and to keep their digital objects and use them in these different experiences. The Mythos 2.0 on Polkadot is underway, like I mentioned. It is absolutely out. We've got a test chain up. There's been a lot of excitement around this. We've been working on it for a few months. We're very excited to report that in the next 6 weeks should be pretty exciting. A little bit on what Mythos is actually focused on, that distribution and that social. I'm going to touch on that very quickly because I agree that I think the decentralization of social, your social currency, absolutely is going to be part of this innovation, as will decentralized distribution for cloud streaming. We're going to redefine social. You'll see some applications and some features from us. We're also developing some technology around cloud streaming, which really bypasses the need for us to have GPUs in the cloud, which I think on the pixel streaming side of the business has made that very problematic. It's around $2 an hour per player to use pixel streaming. And so we've got some patented technology that no longer requires the GPU in the cloud, but rather compresses the stream and sends it to the local machine, and then it uses the local machine's ability to process and draw all those inside of its GPU. Love to talk to folks about this after. You know, we've got the tech underway. We've built it into Blankos. We have a couple of demonstrations that I can provide. I'll be in the Polkadot booth showing that off this week. You know, Polystream's going to be live inside that Polkadot ecosystem in 2025 as we continue to find commercial partners to work with on taking their games to that next level. And really what that does is it ensures that Web3 is the core foundation of this HTTP of the metaverse. The notion that there's this Web 3D concept out there that requires these different foundational components in order to be fully decentralized and for it to scale to the levels that will be adopted by the mainstream. Very excited about our partnerships. Would love to talk about additional partnerships, especially with game developers, because we're going to do this together with Polkadot. And so find me. I'll be in the Polkadot booth. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Twitter. Very happy to talk about this. I love being in a room filled with amazing game innovators. Thank you very much.